everyone, Monty here, and today we're going to talk about macronutrients, also known as macros. So again, I got this magazine at my local Publix market the other day, and you can Google it, and there are some copies available on eBay if you Google it, put the Complete Guide to Nutrition. I don't know, last time I did a review of a magazine like this, there were only like a dozen copies left, and people said, oh, there's no more available. So I would urge you, if you're interested in getting a copy online, to Google the Complete Guide to Nutrition and make sure it looks like this. There are some on eBay for sale, and with the shipping, it's going to be about the same as what I paid for it in my local supermarket. And if you're going out to the market, look for it, because it really is a great magazine. And I said I probably had a dozen chats. I probably have 30 chats coming from just this by going over each section and then interjecting my point of view. So, so far I'm in love with this magazine. I think it's so great. It's so much great information. So today is about macronutrients, also known as macros. And the section here is entitled The Big Three. I'm going to read and then talk about it. All food contains up to 3 macronutrients that your body utilizes for fuel and a variety of important metabolic functions. Carbohydrates, aka carbs, proteins, and fat. Depending on the eating pattern you're following, you'll get these in different ratios. The standard American diet is about 50 to 70% carbs, 15 to 25% fat, and 7 to 20% protein, says Holton. The Mediterranean diet is about 40 to 50% carbs, 35 to 40% fat, and 15 to 25% protein. So if you ever listen to nutritionists, they always say, even like the Mayo Clinic, they say the Mediterranean diet is the healthiest. Now, I think one thing the article talks about a little bit later that I really believe, everybody's different. You can't go by some guideline. Everybody's metabolism is different. However, and everybody's goals are different. Now, there is a macronutrient calculator. Google macronutrient calculator or macro calculator, and then it'll ask you all these questions, and then it will tell you how much you need of each. I think for me it was like 40, 30, 30 when I did it. It was like 40% carbs, 30% protein, 30% fats, because I work out and need a lot of protein, or maybe it was 40% protein, I forgot. But I used to track macros, but I didn't see me getting a big difference in the way my body looked by tracking macros. As a matter of fact, I didn't track macros when I was 8% body fat in the best shape of my life, which I'm trying to get back to right now. I'm about 12 to 15 pounds above that really ripped weight. And the last 10 or 12 pounds makes a big difference. But back to the article. It might take some experimenting to find that ratio that works best for you and your lifestyle, says Holton. I just talked about that. You have to find out what works for you, experiment a little bit. And then everyone's looking for the perfect diet, she says, but we're searching for the impossible due to genetic differences. Genetics influence how your body responds to macronutrients. Ultimately, it should be about how you feel on your diet, so you have to be in tune with your body. It might take working with a nutrition professional to figure out. Some people shove themselves into a diet box where they don't feel good and it doesn't suit them very well. Now, the main thing I forgot to tell you before is, how do you track your macros? Well, I use the Lose It app, LOSEIT, exclamation point. It's for Android and iPhone, and it's free. It's free. But the free version doesn't give you a lot of extra stuff, and one of them is the macronutrient calculators. They have like a lifetime license for like $85, I think it is. I forgot what I pay a year. It's ridiculously cheap. I didn't do the lifetime, but so when you pay for the app, that's one of the things it gives you. When you swipe, you have the calories up at the top, and you swipe your finger like this, and then it gives you the macro breakdown of percentages of the foods that you put in. So again, to find out what macros you need, Google macro calculator, and then to track your macros, you're going to need a calorie counter like a Lose It, or there's so many others, right? And those, if you want that feature, you're probably going to have to pay for the application. So now they're going to talk about the big three, carbohydrates. Although they're much maligned, carbs are ubiquitous, crucial, and very healthy. They're found in virtually all plants, but not in meat. Carbohydrates provide the primary source of energy from food. The compounds in them get converted into fuel, which is stored in the muscles and then used for all sorts of activities. It's only when carbs are stripped of their nutrients, like in white flour, I talk about this all the time, and highly processed cookies, cakes, fruit juice, I talk about that all the time too, candies and so on, that they lose their nutritional value. And they also make you fat a lot quicker because there's no fiber to time release them into your body. A diet rich in plants, especially whole grains, beans, nuts, fruits, and vegetables, complex versus simple carbohydrates, has been linked to a lower risk of many chronic diseases. For more on carbohydrates and how to choose the best type, turn to page 34. For some delicious plant-focused recipes. Protein. Found in meats, plants, protein has a variety of functions in the body, including supporting building muscle, which I focus on eating a lot of protein. Proteins contain amino acids, some of which you have to get in food. These are called essential amino acids, and other your body can make. If you're eating a well-rounded diet, whether it includes meat or not, you should be able to get all the essential amino acids you need. Turn to page 44 to find out how to make sure you're getting enough protein on a plant-based diet, because protein is crucial for building muscle, and muscle helps you keep your metabolism chugging along at a good speed. I talked about that the other day. Two people, both the same weight, height, but one with more lean muscle mass is going to burn more calories by doing nothing, just by walking around every day, than the other person of the same weight and height. Okay? It's important to ensure you're getting enough protein. Most Americans eat plenty, but some groups might benefit from more, including people who are trying to lose weight, because it helps keep you more satiated, exercising frequently or over 50. The general guidelines for protein consumption are about 0.35 grams per pound of body weight. So someone who weighs 155 pounds, which is what I weigh about right now, should eat about 55 grams of protein a day. That's about 220 calories. Now, another thing I read about protein, which people don't realize, and all these bodybuilders are taking all these protein shakes, your body can only process like 25 to 30 grams of protein in like a couple of hours. I forget how many hours it is, but like really in one meal. So if you eat anything above that, you're just probably the body's gonna eliminate it and not use it to build muscle, so you're overdoing it. And that's something I read a couple of times in articles that really shocked me. And I also read it makes you really gassy too. And I've had that problem in the past when I ate a lot of protein. Okay, then it says, a study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that eating 0.55 to 0.72 grams per pound was beneficial for weight loss. And some research shown that older adults with healthy kidney function, because too much protein can affect your kidney, by the way, should aim for 0.45 to 0.55 grams of protein per pound of body weight. To help you better utilize protein, experts recommend spreading your intake throughout the day at each meal, 20 to 30 grams per meal. I didn't know that was in here. I read it before, but I forgot. See, the reason why they're saying 20 to 30 is you can't actually process more than that. And getting it from plant sources, eggs and get it from plant sources, eggs, and lean meat, fish, and poultry. All right, now we're going to talk about fat. Now, when I talk about fat, I want to tell you about how when I first got off sugar, it was because I heard this YouTube video from this nutritionist and doctor who said, fat doesn't make you fat, sugar makes you fat. And that was like ding, ding, ding. That was a big milestone in my life. And then I realized I had a problem with sugar and that fat gets a bad rap. You know, fat also helps you keep satiated. And when I switched from Weight Watchers to counting calories, the really lean turkey meat versus the turkey meat with a little fat was about the same calories, so I'll take the fat for the flavor and to help keep me more satiated. So I was really interested. And I also read an article about how you should always eat a fat. Why do you think they always put cheese or nuts or avocados on a salad? Because if you add a fat, a good fat, a healthy fat with vegetables, it helps you digest and take advantage of more nutrients. I've read that several times too. Fat, this macronutrient used to be on the bad list back in the 80s and 90s. It's been the focus, along with carbs, of much controversy in nutrition today. It too is crucial for all sorts of processes in the body, including cell structure and cognitive function. Fats are generally broken down into two different camps, healthy and unhealthy. There's even a controversy over how unhealthy some fats really are. Healthy fats, these are mono and polyunsaturated fats like the kind found in nuts, seeds, fish, avocados, and olive oil, and certain other vegetable oils. Unhealthy fats, these include trans fat, saturated fat. Red meat, dairy, and certain vegetable oils are high in saturated fats. Experts recommend getting no more than 10% of your total daily calories from saturated fat. Eating no more than that has been linked with higher levels of unhealthy LDL cholesterol. So my cholesterol is low overall, but a little high on the LDL. So I'm going to really reduce my meat, reduce my egg, whole egg content that I talked about the other day. If you want to watch my chat on my doctor's visits and the lessons I learned. They have been implicated to a higher risk of heart disease. Artificial trans fats were actually banned in the US in 2015. Here's where it gets tricky. If you're getting more than 10% of your daily calories from saturated fat, there's about 20 grams, that's about 20 grams for an 1,800 calorie a day diet. You should cut back. However, how you cut back is important. Studies have shown that replacing saturated fat with unhealthy refined carbohydrates, bread, white rice, desserts, and juices and sodas and candies and rolls, even worse for your health than getting that, than eating the fat. It's important to replace those fats with healthy whole grains, legumes, and vegetables, plant-based protein, or healthy fat. So I love avocado. That's a real healthy fat. I'm putting in like raw sunflower seeds. People get these sunflower seeds or these nuts that are roasted in tons of oil, and you don't know what kind of oil it is. So always try to go for the raw nuts, the healthy fats. Again, combining those healthy fats. I love putting like blue cheese in a salad. I love putting avocado in a salad, because I know, and I always I think about this. I think about how can I maximize my nutrients, and I know that I just can't have a salad without a cheese or a nut. Preferably, nuts are better than the cheese, but I do that. Avocado, put that in my salad because I know I'm maximizing my nutrient intake that my body can process. Your body processes it and utilizes more nutrients. I think it was anywhere from 17 to 27% more nutrients in one of the articles I read if you add a fat to that salad or to that vegetable. Like I made steamed green beans the other day and put almond slivers all over it. So I'm always thinking about these things. What about mindful eating, right? I always try to maximize my nutrient intake. So if those of you are interested in knowing what macros are, we just talked about macros, carbs, fats, and proteins. Those are macronutrients, and that's what you hear people say about counting macros. I remember like 4 years ago when somebody said, "Do you count macros, Monty?" I'm like, what the hell is that? But instead of asking the person, what did I do? That magical thing. I Googled it, and I learned all about macros. Again, guys, everything I learn is from reading, online or magazines. I'm at the point now where I don't learn too much from this. It just reaffirms. I get excited. Like when I'm reading this magazine, I was like, everything I tell you in my chats are in this magazine. So I know that everything I've learned from all the years and years of reading all these articles and stuff, I very rarely learn something new, but even if I learn one thing, I get excited, and even excites me that I'm still saying all the right things when I do the chats. And I'm sure there's be some things I'll say wrong once in a while, and somebody will point it out to me, and I'll learn from that as well. So again, I can't say enough about this magazine. Tomorrow we're going to talk about what's in a calorie and talk about calorie counting. So that's the next section. What's in a calorie? This magazine is phenomenal. I mean, I said I'd get a dozen chats. I'll probably get 30 chats out of this. So anyway, I hope you really enjoyed today's chat. And I'm really busy with work right now, so I don't know if I'll be doing one every single day, but I will do my best to try and give you one every day.